Okay, Conscious Growing Gardener family. So today's video is about homeschooling and why and how you can get started. Now, here's the thing. We already know why. Our school systems are not holding up their end of the bargain when it comes to teaching our children. A lot of us don't even recognize how our children learn and different ways that they can learn. So someone asked me to do a video on this, so I decided that I would. It was very important to me too as well. Um, Shout out to scientific one who is really the teacher of our children. In fact, the first teacher of the child is the woman. You know, from the time that that baby is conceived in the stomach, you know, he starts or he or she starts taking on attributes and learning things from their parent. Okay, so whether how calm she is, how loving she is, how soothing she is to him when he's in that womb, right? She begins to teach him from the time that he's in that womb till he or she enters into the world. I'm saying he because I happen to have a son. Okay, so what we did was we decided that there was all types of ways for our son to learn. Sometimes our son learns by playing, right? By playing. So look, a screwdriver with a light on it. See that? A little toy to learn, so he can learn. Look at that. It actually makes noise. See that? So he can get used to using tools. Okay, a simple tool, right? Here it is, another tool. See that? A tool, a play tool with light on it. See that? So it seems like it's real. Okay, so he can start investing his time and stuff like that. Hammers and little tools like this, right? Even though he's not ready to start hammering yet, he's only 9. You know what I'm saying? But you want to get him used to holding handheld tools so he can be able to use, right? One of my favorites, a garden, a pot for watering. Okay, a watering pot. Okay, this is actually he has the whole kit to go with this. He has the gloves. He has the little shovel, the little pick. Okay, he has all those things with the, you know what I'm saying. And then a little handheld made seed pack with actual seeds inside of it. Okay, for its own growing time. Okay, so that he has to learn how to grow in this household too. Okay, how about this? How about this, huh? A telescope so we can look at stars at night, right? And talk about the stars and talk about the planets and stuff like that, right? And then of course we went to a discount store. Probably we probably went to this is probably at a thrift store, and we were able to pick up the encyclopedia, right? The new encyclopedia of science, right? And we got the whole, see, we have the whole case, the whole section of it, okay, of learning books, right? And then you have to give them things that they like. So Stuart Little is a book that we had him read, that he's reading right now, right? And then we picked up some of these books. Some of these books we picked up from Five and Below, right? Five and Below, right? You'd be surprised how many books you can get, right? Everything Kids Science Experiment book, right? Super skill powers, right? Which looks very fun, right? So if he sees this on here, he gets him interested in wanting to learn and things of that nature, right? Comprehensive curriculum, right? This is a kindergarten book. This is very expensive. This is almost $10. Well, that's not that bad, right? But when these little $8, $10 books, they add up. But if you do them over time, you know what I'm saying? If you do them over time, you can get a lot of good deals. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, I got the second grade jumbo workbook, right, which has, you see the animals and the fruits on there, right? Because we always teaching that curriculum, right? And then we have some older books that he had, Discover Works, right? These are books sometimes that we pick up, like I said, from thrift stores. You know, some of these we get from, like I said, some of these scholastic books, these big word books, these come from Five and Below. Okay, skills areas include critical thinking, phonics and spelling, basic math, vocabulary, reading comprehension, and more. You can go through these books and they tell you the ages and the grade. You can go through these books with your children. You know what I'm saying? They have them all the way up. So I don't know, maybe like, I'm sure it's up to like 7th grade, maybe 5th grade, 6th grade, maybe something like that. So you can continue to teach them through these books, right? And it's all kind of ways of teaching your children. You have to figure out certain ways that your child learns. You know, some kids learn by doing, some kids learn by reading, some kids have a combination of doing and reading and learning and just seeing you do it. And then of course the book about animals, right? My son loves animals, so we keep him enhanced on animals, right? And then a hands-on math book, right? that we got, right? Most of these books were either, like I said, secondhand books. We picked them up from Five and Below. I think we got even some of these books from Big Lots. When we were in Big Lots, we went in and we didn't even go in there with intentions on buying books, but we got in there and we saw some books that we liked, that we thought were good for his reading comprehension and learning, and we purchased them. Okay, even you have to have music time. He has a keyboard, so see that, roll your boat, right? Music to learn how to, to teach him how to read music, right? And then how about this? A toy, right? This is anybody knows what this is? Okay, that's right. It's exactly what you said it is, right? So we're teaching him, a little bit about, what I'm saying, being able to use a drone. What I'm saying, which is in his time, back in our days, it would be something like maybe learning how to use a microwave, or something that's also, learn how to turn on a computer. When I was in high school, computers came out. I think it was like in the ninth grade when we got our first sets of computers. I ever seen first time I ever seen a computer besides being at the hospital was in the ninth grade when we had a computer. Actually, had a computer room in my school, and so we wanted to get him update and know how to use drones, right? And then the big thing, money, right? How to count, right? How to count, right? Different coins and different things, right? Different skill building and test prep. Okay, so you can teach them through little different games, right? That we keep around. Okay, what else do we have over here? Um, from head to toe game, learn to move. Okay, play and learn system. Okay, so this is a game that you can hook up. It's ages 3 and plus. Okay, and it teaches you different things. Okay, it teaches you. I guess I can open it up, but I don't. It's kind of sealed still. We haven't opened it up yet. We got this from probably a thrift store. Okay, we do a lot of looking around and buying things that we think that would be comfortable for him and his learning ability, right? To be able to pick up on things and that we can teach easily ourselves, right? You'd be surprised how easy your children catch on. Once you find out how your children learn, most of us do not know how our children learn. We don't have you. Somebody said, "How your children learn? How your child learn?" You have no clue at all because you send him to school, him or her to school, and they don't really know. They got 35 students. They're teaching one way, and every child learns differently. Okay, no, not every child learns the same. Okay, and you might be a smart young man or young woman, and you're not getting the time that you need for your talents to be able to be, to be soothed and to be able to grow and to be, and you might be you might darn near be a genius, and they don't even know it because you just learn differently than other people. Okay, so then we're going to get into something like coding, right? So we talk about coding. So this is a solar robot creation kit that you can put together. Okay, it has different little things that you can do in the kit at ages 8. Okay, it's powered by the sun, so it's solar. Okay, so we're gonna put this together. See that? It's all the different things that it can make, and we'll put this together, and then then after a while, after he gets done playing with it, we'll change it and make it into something else. Just to teach him how to code, okay, and teach him how to put things together with the not with the fake tools that he plays with. To get him used to them. But we'll bring out a real screwdriver. Okay. Um, Here's a 6-in-1 solar rechargeable space fleet. Okay, we'll put this to scientific and fun. Okay, so you can make different things with this as well, right? You can see this is the front of the book. This is the front of the thing, and this age is for 10 and plus. He'll be 10 coming up soon. His birthday is in a few days, so this is something that we got him so that we can learn, teach, like I said, once again, how to put things together, how to use solar energy, right, and how to this is a part of coding. So we teach him how to build his own space fleet. Okay, not in the air, but definitely, it'll teach him how to, and how to take care of things too as well. When you buy things and you purchase them and you play with them, right? Sometimes kids can play rough and they can become, uncaring about it if it ain't their money being spent on the kids. Don't know the value of a dollar as much as as a grown up would that spends their money. So we teach them how to take care of things that are different than others. Some toys you can be more rougher with than others, right? And so that's another. People don't realize those are all learning behaviors that you're constantly picking up and taking on as you go into your adulthood life, right? Now watch this. Here we go. Something else we picked up. National Geographic, build your own volcano. Glow in the dark crystal lab, okay, and a dino fossil kit, okay, and all of these things. These are all National Geographic. These are all learning tools, okay. These are all learning tools that he can learn how to do different things with, how to search for fossils, dig for fossils, how to build a volcano, and how does the volcanoes work, and what are they are. And our son knows a lot about volcanoes, by the way. And then a crystal lab, okay, how many people know about crystals, right? How they bring certain energies and peace, right, and different vibrations to your life, right? So we'll have a crystal lab that he'll be working on as well. When you when you go out your way to homeschool your children, a lot of people make mistakes. But the first thing they do is they get them into a program similar to the one they just left, K through 12 or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with standard curriculum, but you have to find out for yourself. If you're going to homeschool, you have to find, it's your job to find out how your kid best learns. I'm not saying that you don't want to turn those things, those assignments in through K through 12, but you yourself, the reason why they're at home is to get that extra time with them, to understand how they learn. Some people, my son actually learned how to read uh, from watching. I can't make this up. He learned how to read from watching Peppa Pig. Okay, he was watching it all the time. I don't know how he learned from Peppa Pig, but uh, I used to go into his room and he didn't know how to quite work the remote yet, but he had Peppa Pig on demand. We used to have like we had the cable boxes and stuff. Now we now we tend to use the Fire Sticks more and the Roku sticks. But back then we had a cable box, and he wanted to watch a Peppa Pig episode. And how I knew that he could read was when I asked him, I said, "What you want to watch?" He told me Peppa Pig, and then he told me the episode. And I thought to myself, how does he know this episode? Now, first thing the queen thought, my wife thought that, oh, he just heard them say the episode. He heard them say it, and he liked that episode, so he memorized it. And that's how I said, no, I think he's reading. She's like, oh, he ain't reading, he reading. He wasn't even school age yet. He was like 4. And then what happened was I let it go. We didn't go back and forth. I was pretty sure he was. She hadn't synced it yet, and I figured eventually she would. So guess what happened? One day he did her like that. He did her like that, and that's when she knew. When he did it, she said, "This boy is reading." I said, "Yes, he's reading." So sometimes your kids are smarter than what you think they are, but you'll never know if you don't play teacher in your home sometimes to get them to expand their thought process. Ask them questions. Ask them what they know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes talking to your kids is and teaching them different things is homeschooling. You know what I'm saying? We get past basic math and carrying and percentages, and you go into algebra and trigonometry and things of that nature, right? Most of those things you never use in basic life for the most part. You're gonna need some. You might need some to learn how to measure if you're gonna be in an engineer or something like that. You might want to know how to pull out a tape measure and measure, and you might want to know percentages if you're going to be in big business or something like that, right? If you even if you working in retail and you talk about 20% off, you got to know what 20% off is. So there's certain math that you need to go past further than this. Um, but after a while, they tend to just crash us and burn us with later on learning, the higher learning. You know what I'm saying? Because it becomes more expensive. It just becomes, most people end up honestly. Most people end up in debt because of education than the things that they actually learned. So be careful with what your children are being learned, being taught. Sometimes it's a direct public school system can sometimes, allegedly, in my opinion, be a direct line to prison. Because if your kids in school and they ain't doing nothing, they're not learning anything, you're not checking to see if they're learning, and they go from elementary to junior high. By the time they hit high school, then it's nothing but trouble and issues. If they're not interested in learning, but trying to get after junior high, and their grades are not where they should be as far as you understanding them at home, because you know how intelligent your children are on a regular basic day, right? So you know that they have the capability of learning 1 plus 1 is 2, and how to your timetables, and what I'm saying, and how to write a paragraph. You know what I'm saying? These are basic things that our kids can learn. It's just about doing the assignments, right? But then when you get bored in school and it turns into girls, you know how we are young men. We looking at the girls. The girls are dressing a little more provocative as they get older. They're coming into their bodies. They might not purposely be doing it. Some of them are. You know what I'm saying? They go to school checking for little boys, and then the learning time. We forget that we in school to learn. From junior high to high school, it's all about popularity and schools and Jordans and who's the best and who's the better athlete, who's the most handsome guy with the most pretty girl. And what they start doing is emulating grown-ups. You know what I'm saying? And we not even fully grown uh, uh, in our own recognizance and recognizing in our own consciousness of recognizing what might be going on in our children's lives. Not calling us children, but we can be sort of immature to things or ignorant to things if we're not asking questions, if we're not paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Some of us just have this expectation of our children because we know how intelligent they are, but we don't realize that if the learning value is not up to where it makes it interesting for them, you can be in a crowd of people and feel lonely. There could be 50 people in one classroom and you feel like you by yourself. And then you start doing things to try to fit in. You know, and when you got 50 students or 35 to 50 students, you can't one person can't give a total amount of attention to to another person. And so sometimes your child might need a one-on-one type of attention, and that's when they learn the best. When they're being secluded from other people, when they just got that one person sitting there with them and they're challenging them. And then you can see how smart they are. You know what I'm saying? And if you give them that time, you know what I'm saying? If you decide to homeschool and you use the curriculum from school, whether it be K through 12 or another program, make sure that you implement your time. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that you spend some money on them so they can see I care about your learning. You know what I'm saying? These a couple of dollars here and there. These are things that we've collected over years. We didn't just go buy all of this. This is just a small sample of what we use to teach him. He has a whole pile full of books that we've picked up sometimes from like I said, Five and Below. We've picked up Big Lots. We've picked up books from people having sometimes people have you know yard sales. We'll go and we'll see a book we like. You know what I'm saying? We've even been into thrift stores and found good books where people have just gave them away and donated them. And we'll go and we'll like these encyclopedias. We'll go and we found the encyclopedias at a thrift store and they had every what's the name all the way down to, from I think 1 to like 20, and we picked up every one of them. You know what I'm saying? Those are very good books. I think we paid like 99 cents for each book, so $20 for the 20 books. Very worth it. You know what I'm saying? All the information is in there. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we have other dictionaries and stuff like that, but we also have fun books and we have fun time where he's learning, he's playing, and he doesn't realize he's playing a game or a quiz game, and we're challenging him, and he loves it because he wants to see how smart he is, and we're just actually playing with him. You know what I'm saying? So there's different ways you have to find those synchronicities and those ways that your kid thinks and the way their mind operates. And if you spend that time with them, not pressuring them, not being not just finding that time and when they're open to learning. There's a time when your kids are open to learning, and you have to capitalize on that. Sometimes you be too tired. We've literally been laying in the bed, and my son will come in being very inquisitive, and that's the point right there. He's ready to learn, and one of us have to get up or say something to him, and and push, and go push on, even though we laying there tired ourselves as people. We had a long day, but if he's interested in learning, that's when we have to seize that moment. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we do have to be a little more uh, pushy with him because we give him time off that he has a lot of free time on his hands, and he plays a lot of games and video games and things of that nature like all other kids. And then when it's time to go back to learning, he might not be willing to. You know what I'm saying? Mom will say something and he'll be like and I'll be like, hey, it's learning time. And he knows that we don't play with that. So um, but we don't try to force it down his throat. We try to find a time, and then sometimes, like I said, in life, sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Grown ups want to always holler, "I'm grown, I can do what I want to do." No, grown ups, when you're grown, you have to do what you're supposed to do. You have to take care of your responsibilities. We all know that game. You know what I'm saying? You can spend more time as a kid doing what you want to do as an adult. As an adult, you don't need to do what you want to do all the time. You paying bills, you taking care of responsibility. You got kids you're taking care of. You got a household you're taking care of. You got meals to prepare for and cook. right? You got to make sure there's gas and oil in your car. It's all to get back and forth to work. You got a schedule you keep it right with your children, with your job, whatever you got going with your career. If you own your own business, you still got to get up and take care of your business, right? So we don't always get a chance to do what we want to do. Playtime becomes a lot more often for children, and so we try to implement those fun and play times within, you know what I'm saying, the ability of learning, right? The, 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 the fun time when he doesn't know he I don't even know if he knows he's learning at this point when we're doing coding, right? When the music is playing, he's learning how to play his keyboard. I don't know if he knows that he's learning how to play these notes at this learn time, or is he just having fun? When we have the telescope out and we're looking at the stars, right, and we're counting the constellations and we're talking about this and that and other, we're using the book to go off of it, right? I don't know if he knows he's learning or if he's having fun. When we're putting together the volcanoes and we're talking about volcanoes and how they operate, we're talking about the animals. When your child finds something that they like to do, they're never going to think of it as learning. Just like if you have a job and you love your job, what you do, you're not going to look at it as work. You're going to enjoy it, even though you know you're working. It's going to be fun to you because you love doing it. And so we have a lot of schools have lost that zest and that understanding of how to find that one thing that that kid likes, right? That they like, and you implement it into their learning, so that you can, you keep that classroom alive. You know what I'm saying? It's just do it because I said do it. Do it now because it need to be done. And you don't know what privately what other children are going through at home, what kind of day they're having. Are they being bullied in school? Are they suffering from depression? Do they have whatever issues that they may have? You know what I'm saying? And so when you at home and you have schooling, right, you understand the ins and outs and where's about of your child's day because you're there. Like right now, we're in here talking about homeschooling, and he's in there laughing, enjoying himself. You know what I'm saying? And nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? So even though wife just said calm down, she's probably watching something on TV. I'm gonna get up out of here, y'all, because I gotta clean this stuff back up. But this is just a small way of how you can put yourself in a position with your kids to learn, because some people get so scared thinking that they're gonna fail their children, and they don't. I'm not a teacher. I don't know what I'm doing. But you'd be surprised if you can sometimes lead in learning, and sometimes your children will help you, and they will lead, and you can follow them because they are like a sponge, and they are ready to learn. They want to know everything you know. So find out some things that they might want to know about you, about your family, about your background. You know what I'm saying? About their the other parent, right? About their siblings. They have older siblings, right? Whatever they might want to know. Maybe they might want to know something about your childhood and how you handle if it's a bully at school, or how you handle some boy the first time a girl starts liking a boy or a boy starts liking a girl, right? Have these conversations so they won't be doing this in their own school, and this is what they're doing at their school. They're not checking with the parents on what they're teaching our kids. You're not even looking at the curriculum anymore. You're so busy working. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what your kids are learning or not learning. So if you feel like homeschooling might be the best place for them, right? Um, this is just some small, simple things that we've learned over the time that me and the scientific one, the queen, has been homeschooling our son. Okay, we've done it both ways. We've had children that graduated from high school, went all through elementary, all the way to high school, and then we've got a son now that we actually homeschool. So we've been on both sides of the coin, and we think that homeschooling is the thing to do for certain children, right? Certain children are just blossom better on one-on-one, or two-on-one, however it might be in your household, right? Sometimes I play the fun game, and the gym teacher and the music teacher. Sometimes she gets to play the book lady who says, "Hey, go do this," and sometimes I have to play principal. You know what I'm saying? If he's not listening to the teacher, now you get to listen to the principal. She did send them to me a couple times, and we handle things, in the correct format with him as far as his willingness to learn, his readiness to learn, and his eagerness. And then sometimes when he's kind of like, I'm gonna do that, teacher's only gonna do so much to your child in school nowadays if your child is being disobedient or disruptive or not willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know what's going on, but you as a parent do, and you can always get to the bottom of things. You know what I'm saying? And believe me, no matter how much that teacher might be a good teacher and want all her kids to be successful and to know things, nobody wants more success and nobody has more love for their child. than you. Okay, so think about possibly becoming a homeschool teacher, right? And if not, you might want to take those times out when they come from school to still give them a thought process in their head of not necessarily a book, but you might be able to work with them on some of the things that they're already doing in school, and as well as teaching them just by your own personal knowledge of yourself and of them. Okay. All right, Conscious Growing Gardener family. You like this video? Subscribe to the channel, right? Hit the like button. Share this with other people, right? Share this to your Facebook or your Instagram, wherever you want to share it to, right? And continue to learn in every area, growing. Okay, not just in the garden, right? Like me and my son going, got the little, not just in the garden, not just me and the queen and scientific one, but in every area of your life. Okay, um, my son might want to be a gardener one day, but he might want to be a doctor one day. Who knows? He's only 9. Who knows what he's gonna be? We're not gonna push him in one area. We're just gonna let him choose an area and figure out for himself what he wants to do. And we will get behind him and support him. You know what I'm saying? Through the good and the bad. All right, family. Continue to learn and grow in every area. Peace and light.